Hi, everyone.
Okay.
Welcome to another episode of WYTPod, the online community for e-commerce business owners and entrepreneurs. And today we have a special guest with us. He's the founder of Cart to Cash, and his name is Craig Erkus. Craig, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I'm doing well, Mark. Thank you for having me on.
Good to hear that. So why don't we jump right in and just so our viewers can get to know you a little bit better, can you share some of your background with us?
Oh, absolutely. Well, Mark, I 5 years ago basically jumped into the cannabis marketplace out in Sacramento, California. We have a 10,000 square foot indoor cultivation. And basically, like most of the California market, and especially in the cultivation market, it's been good and bad. And basically, things have happened in that market space. But one thing that hasn't changed is fair banking in the space. I mean, it's a cash business. You're penalized paying your taxes in cash. You're penalized paying your payroll, everything. You pay all your fees if you have to be in cash because you can't have banking, basically, are penalties. And with that being said, some of our customers, who our distributors, our dispensaries who buy our product, they're big money and they have bank accounts per se, but it costs them uber amount of fees to just have those type of particular accounts, and whether it's a credit union, et cetera, and you're still not protected to that matter. So basically what I've done in my cart to cash world is I have noticed a void in the space. And the void in the space is what happens at the dispensaries at their levels, or even, on a federal level, what happens with CBD and anything that has to do with the cannabis world is that the banks run for the hills. They don't want to be involved. And there are some companies that basically they hide it, so they call themselves
Yeah.
something else. And then as soon as the bank finds out what the transaction is, they'll freeze their money, and it'll be a quite cumbersome way, of getting your money back. And, actually, now you have no bank, and now you have no merchant services, et cetera. So we basically, in our cart to cash, we basically built an environment that is completely cannabis friendly. And that basically is on the banking side and the ease of trying to avoid all the cash on hand, because it's still a dangerous market. I mean, think about it. You have cannabis, which is drugs, and cash in your hand at any one particular point. I don't care if you're a dispensary, your four walls are filled with cannabis and cash, or you're a cultivation grow, you still need some sort of transactions that will be a little bit more on the rails of safety.
Yeah, that's
So
dangerous. Sure.
which we don't have right now, especially in the dispensary world. I'm sure people who have gone into dispensaries, you have two options. You could either hit an ATM taking out cash, right? Or you can use a debit card now in the cannabis world, which is still shaky at best, because it's still on banking rails. It's still on the point of banking. They're just disguising it a little bit. I think once Visa and MasterCard come in, people are going to get fined. It could put people out of business, et cetera. And there's an acronym called TMF, which basically is a terminated merchant file. If someone actually gets in a business a TMF, it's a nightmare to get it off, and you would have to spend thousands of dollars with an attorney. It's basically a blackball in the merchant services world. You
Right.
don't want that. Okay. So basically, the cart to cash fills a void in a cannabis world, and it could be done B2B. It could be B2C. What we built is a online software platform that does a couple of things. One is you basically can't buy online because of two things. One, you can't pay with a credit card. Two, they don't know how old you are, so there's an age verification. So
Right.
we've built a product, a front end product that basically once you log on, it basically will take some information from you, but it will verify your age via your license. It can't be a picture. So it's basically solidifies that you're 21 at that particular point.
Right.
Now, what we did was we built a e-cannabis friendly e-wallet system that basically what I will do in my own time and my own home is I will load my wallet, ACH from my bank into the wallet. Now, this wallet, basically, I can buy anything. Mark, I can send you a direct pay. Now, you'll get a link. Hey, Craig had sent you money. Well, now there's $100 in there, whatever the case may be. You're going to click on it. You're going to obtain an account, if you will. You're going to accept the money, and you can do whatever you want with it, per se. But in the cannabis world, what we're able to do for people is now give everybody a bank account. All non-bankable people have a bank account. The business has a bank account. And what they'll do is they'll accept money via almost like a Venmo, if you will, but it's cannabis legal to pay for product.
Okay.
Think about a delivery service. Okay. Think about a delivery service, right? Delivery services, basically, they go out, they have cannabis and they have cash in their cars. You know, the fifth stop, there's a guy or a woman or whatever stopping them, say, give me everything you have. You know, at that point they have cash.
Hey, it happens with pizzas. So
it does. It happens in it's really in any world per se of a delivery.
Right.
But so what we're trying to do is we're trying to facilitate a void. We're giving cannabis companies a bank. We're giving them a form of revenue on their own e-commerce where they're not having any revenue today. Now an order can be placed. I can pay for it instead of let me do a pickup. Now I put a whole cart together, right? The cart gets sent to the dispensary. The dispensary packages it, and they're waiting for Craig to come in to pick it up, to pay for it. But Craig just ate a 500 milligram brownie, and he's not going anywhere, or he might forget to even come in. Now with the payment, okay, I'm obligated to go pick up my own stuff. The responsibility falls back on me. So now there's an added revenue on their e-commerce, which they have zero right now. So so that's how we basically have it within our cannabis world of e-commerce is safety and cannabis banking and increasing revenues on a front end platform on your e-commerce dispensaries that are making zero income right now off of it, zero revenue.
Well, it's an attractive proposition to be sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're just, it's basically, the big conglomerate MSOs, the multi-state operators, basically, some of them are doing it, Visa, MasterCard, and they don't care because they just have billions of dollars right now.
Yeah.
It's the little guys. It's the little guys that have the employees that if you have, and it's unfortunate, if you have a cannabis crime or any crime per se, I should say it, and you're working as a bud tender or a manager, you cannot have a bank account in our marketplace, in any marketplace, in any good day, in your personal world. Yeah. So we basically are able to give these businesses cannabis bank accounts and bank accounts for every single one of their employees. And on the business side of it, which I failed to mention, is that once they have a bank of money, they can pay vendors, they can run payroll, you can pay anything. Once you're an employee, once you get it, I can take that, I can pay my rent, I can pay my car, I can pay for gas, I can get a debit card on based off that bank and just use my balances as it goes. So it does. There's a lot to it that it was put into this. We're just launching this service, and we're basically looking for that smart-minded business owner that will see past the Visa MasterCard world, because even if we get fair banking come December, it still will be federally illegal, and it's still a space where Visa and MasterCard may not join in, and everybody's going to be at status quo.
Yeah. So what is your core market? I mean, apart from dispensaries, who else do you market to?
Well, that's our world right now. It's really just in the cannabis world right now because we feel that's a space. I mean, have we tripped along other businesses that B2B do vending back and forth? Yes. So but it's more or less in the cannabis space, and for right now because of that front end age verification. Now I can click that off at any given time if someone doesn't need it.
Yeah.
But our core market is cannabis and dispensaries.
All right, cool. So you've obviously got an awesome service available for people, but that doesn't help unless people know about it. So how are you driving potential customers to your website right now?
Yeah, well, we have. I mean, I do fair amount of marketing. Direct marketing on LinkedIn. I do have a lot of connections within the cannabis space because we're in the business. So we're talking to some of the big, businesses directly. Once the market, we get embedded a little bit. Everybody talks. They go to MJ Biz. They go to different cannabis events, and as more states come on, on the East Coast, New Jersey just went recreational. New York is going to go soon. So it's really kind of hey, what are you doing? How are you doing it? It's the business is a little incestuous because everybody talks. So
Sure.
it will help out in the near future. The marketing end of it without having a budget that's insanely crazy. We're a new business, so we're kind of treading a little lightly on the marketing budget, and we're doing it ourselves through our connections on the social media markets.
Okay, cool. So how many states are legal now, by the way?
Well, they actually they I'm not sure of the exact amount, and this doesn't basically the marketplace for this is medicinal and or recreational. So
Okay.
you have anywhere from California to Arizona to Oregon to Nevada to Oklahoma to all the Dakotas are now going. You have Massachusetts, we have Connecticut, we have New Jersey. There's a Florida. It's every state is realizing the revenue potential just based on taxes.
Yeah,
That's what there.
that's
And
right.
think about this. Okay, that it's federally illegal to grow marijuana. It's federally illegal to buy marijuana. It's federally illegal to sell marijuana. And look where we are.
That's right.
You know,
The almighty
so
dollar.
yes, it's the dollar. Obviously cash
Wow.
is king. In that space, but the big guys, the large MSOs that have 130, 140 retail cannabis shops, they're the 10-ton gorilla. They're going to control the markets. They have a monopoly per se because if they do $1 billion a year in revenue and they can't bank, well, they can only bank for a quarter of it. Where's that cash?
Right.
Where is it? Is it buried somewhere in dumpsters? Please just give me access to one. You know, per se.
Sure.
But it's a space that we're just trying to make a little bit safer. Each state will have their own regulations, about how they do it. But this is, goes across the board of compliant. We have an age verification and we have a cannabis bank. But with
Yep.
that being said, everything else is federally illegal. You know, so it's like we're falling into that particular gray area because that's the way the government has made it gray, and they're allowing things to happen.
Yep.
But we took a step further. We became fully compliant. So
Nice.
if it does go federal, and the feds are looking, we show them our SOPs, we show them our banking relationships. We have a very strong cannabis bank behind us, so they're taking a lot of the responsibility as long as we keep within the guidelines as well. So
Okay. Cool. Huge potential, obviously. I mean, unlimited potential in this market.
we agree.
So, yeah, you're in the right business. So obviously you have a lot of plates spinning, right? How do you keep everything running smoothly at the same time?
Good question. Well, we basically, the software sales of it, we've hired and we aligned ourselves with the software engineers that basically can really cater to us. Where if we need something tweaked, or if a customer needs a button added, it all lies on just kind of emails and text messages back and forth, and it goes. So it's pretty much I'm a relatively good multitasker. My personal businesses, run because I have partners, as well as my software cannabis business as well. I align myself with the right people. I'm more of the front end salesperson with my partner, and then everybody else is kind of in the back end of it and making sure that I'm not a software engineer. I didn't write the software. I can't tell you, I can't write code. That's not my expertise. So I basically have partnered with everybody who can have their expertise in that. They
Sure.
realize we'll do the front end sales, they'll do the back end software engineering.
Yeah, I mean that's a common story that a lot of people tell me. I mean, at some point you have to find some people you can trust and delegate some work because you can't wear all the hats forever. So
Right.
yeah, so it's good to see you've got a grip on that. And finally, Craig, are there any sort of pearls of wisdom that you'd like to pass along to any entrepreneurs who are just getting started?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that you got to have a goal in mind and stick to that goal and keep striving. Don't take no for an answer. We tripped over a lot of different things. Finding the right, in our scenario, ID verification. How, what's compliant? How are you going to do it? And I basically didn't stop until we tested all avenues to get it. And that was really, I had the cannabis bank already. So, but I couldn't get to the next step without having a verification system. And
Yeah.
I would just say is that if, have a proper business plan, align yourself with good people that you can trust,
Yeah.
and, keep pressing. It's a world of, if you don't ask, you're not going to receive.
Don't ask, don't get. Yep.
Exactly.
Good stuff. Craig, I know our community is going to appreciate this. Thanks again for taking the time with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for your
And
time.
yeah, we wish you continued success.
I appreciate you.
All
Thank you,
right.
man.
Thanks a lot, Craig.
Be well. Pleasure. Take care.